Now, the subject I had to critique was hazard materials and reporting. Was that Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a difficult one because the manual is about
that big.
About that big.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, what we do and stuff like that. So trying to come up with content would have been really tough. And there is not much content to this, but it does cover what's in the book and does cover off the assessment, which is what we're looking for. We're not trying to give them something to do for 3/4 of an hour. We're trying to get them through an assessment so that they get their PUAs. And Mark has done that brilliantly. We've got some nice use of pictures.
I was just going to say, I don't know, sorry, you might say it.
Yeah.
With the orange text, I thought that was a link.
Yeah.
And it kind of just made me think maybe throughout we need to define what our links are going to, what font we're going to use, what size we're going to use, so every time it's the same, and then we don't use bold or underline for other
So
reasons.
you should just use the heading styles, let the system do it for you, it's already built in.
Right, but
Yeah, I tried blue.
But if people,
with my link, but there was
format
different colour
over the
blues.
top
Yeah.
of the styles, that takes precedence. You see what I mean? Like the styles, you just use the styles and don't do any other formatting.
But I think what you were saying was we've got to develop those styles a bit better and formalise them, because I've done the same thing as Mark on my one. There was something there that we needed to reinforce about responsibility, and so I've put it in bold orange to say this is, you know, and Mark's used the same thing, and that's sort of a shout out, but other people have used the orange as a link. So, you know, it just gets down to
that's right. Yeah, but that would go into the CSS, all of that.
Yeah. And what, you know, when you were going in and doing all your formatting, you had a style thing that dropped down that just said heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Once we put it into the CSS, it could have link, shout out, or something like that. So rather than, so heading 2, you know, you don't have to remember, oh, heading 2, that was
yes, that's right. Yep.
Okay, here we've got a link through to a hazard sheet, which just tells you how to, you know, handle petrol, which is just a good example of what Mark's trying to do, is show you the type of documentation that you should be seeking and what's in that documentation, so that was handled well. The only thing I'd have suggested was maybe right at the end we could have had a quiz or just something. But
there is a quiz in there, but I never actually got around to working out how to make it, to join it in there. But it was a quiz about, you know, where would you go to on the material safety hazard sheet to find PPE requirements.
That would, I didn't even find that, because after I said, oh, it should be a quiz.
Yeah.
And I
So
thought,
is it in there?
It's in there, somewhere.
Okay.
After I thought that, I thought, well, what the hell could you quiz on? There was just no subject matter, and that's not Mark's issue, that's just the topic he was given. So all in all, I thought with what we were given to Mark, you know, it was really well done. Yep.
So, like I said, in there is a quiz in the actual development part of it,
Yeah.
but I couldn't quite work out how to make it
Okay, make it fit.
do its thing.
Okay.
It was around the material safety hazard sheet.
All right, I'll need to find that. And, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I just say one thing? I would have also had a hazard, a chemical hazard pictures. This is, you know how you go into a certain place, say a warehouse.
Oh yeah, the icons.
And in the icons,
glasses and earmuffs and
but they have hazard, like in our mortuary we have a chemical hazard sign up there saying there is certain chemicals in there that could explode and things like that. That's, I would just maybe have a few of those in there so that they know what they're looking for if they're sent. I don't know what the signs are, I just know what sign we use, you know what I mean? And so there could be some, like, I know there isn't much, you know, to report on this, but if you added the signage and then, you know, these are some of the signs that you might come across.
Yeah.
That'd be good all the way through, actually. And I know a lot of us have just copied and pasted text out of the book, you know, because of time constraints. But I think all the way through, like I was just thinking about, you know, logos for the different agencies, like their symbols and all that would be good to have all that sort of stuff in there, because it's an instant visual
Yeah.
anchor in your mind. And so it'd be good to do throughout as much visual stuff as possible.
My other thought in here too, the picture there, or even though it is fairly well removed from the text, you can see that it's a fuel can. And when you open up the material safety data sheet, could you do that for us, please?
Yeah.
Eventually, it comes up as unleaded petrol.
Right.
So I sort of kind of made the link from the picture to the material safety data sheet.
Yeah.
You know, in my own mind, but whether
Yeah.
they get that, oh look, it was a petrol can, and here's the S.
Sorry.
He reminded me I have to get petrol on my home.
But, you know, you think petrol can, petrol,
Yes.
then when you actually open the link, oh, it's
Yes.
petrol.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe put a
linking
link.
that, put the link on the
Yeah.
petrol can
Yeah.
so that when they
Like I
wait.
said, you know,
Yeah.
the first round thing,
Yeah. And with your ideas of the different, you know, like explosives and stuff like that, you could do similar thing. As I was reminded when I tried to sneak back to my chair, there's one more page for this, and that's on
Only
reporting.
because I wanted to say something about it.
Unfortunately, it goes straight from hazards to reporting of injuries.
Needs to
And-
have a heading.
Yeah, well, the reporting's over here.
Yeah.
Cross. Yeah, it needs to go over, but there is no tidy up of the hazard. And then moving through to reporting, they're two totally separate topics. Although in the book they follow on very closely.
So it's defining the two,
Yeah.
putting something
So
out.
Mark, is that the quiz that you developed? Is that what would sort of finish off that
Yeah.
bit about hazards,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you move into
And
sort of
move into
a topic
reporting.
B or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it? Yeah.
and once again, the reporting side of it is straight out the book, you know, go and talk to your TV to find the controller's handbook to do these things.
But I was going to say, now we're doing the SDS,
Yeah, you can have
you know,
the
1-800 number.
Yeah.
We should be selling that too, so
Yeah,
that should
very
be
much.
there on that
So
reporting.